All right. Any other question? I think I'm ready. Roel, are you ready? Okay, go ahead and take your position there and just relax. And students, do you have any questions before we start? Okay. Assessors, you're okay? All right. Sounds good. Well, whenever you're ready.
Good evening. My name is Roel. I'm from the Word of Truth. We're located at Eva Beach. If you happen to live close by, just come and be a visit. Today, I'm going to talk about the three characteristics of a man who trusts in God. And I'm going to title this message, Trusting in God is a rich blessing. My scripture for today is in Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 7 and 8. But before we go to that main passage, I'm going to do a little overview of the people of Israel during the time of Jeremiah. And before I start, I want to say for you. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you, Lord, for this opportunity that you have given us. Oh Lord, we thank you for allowing me and the rest of my classmates to grow in the knowledge of your word. Oh Lord, we bless us and continue to strengthen us and teach us your word. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. Okay, the people of Israel in 6th century before Christ or BC, they were rebellious people during that time. They have their idols, they worship, and they have their own gods. Worst thing is that they don't believe in God, the heavenly God, the God who saved them. And the worst thing also is that their heart turns away from God. And in that case, they were cursed. God spoke to them through Jeremiah. And I'm going to read it with you in Jeremiah 17, beginning on verse 5. It says, "This is what the Lord says. Cursed is the one who trusts in man, who depends on flesh for his strength, and whose heart turns away from the Lord. He will be like a post in the wastelands. He will not see prosperity when it comes. He will dwell in the parched places of the desert, in a salt land where no one lives." This is why God cursed them, because of their heart. Their heart turns away from Him. But then again, God said on verse 7, beginning of verse 7, it says, "But blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in Him. He will be like a tree planted by the water, that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." The three characteristics I'm going to share with you tonight. First is, a man who trusts in God is rich in resources. Let us look on verse 8, part A, the first portion of that. It says, "He will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream." Look at the resources God given to a man, even a woman who trusts in God. Imagine if you live in a countryside, like where my wife comes from, Locusor, and I visited the place actually. They have a lot of farmers over there, and they need lots of water to grow their crops. You know, my brother-in-law is one of them. He planted rice. You've seen rice fields; they are so beautiful, but needs a lot of water. And I believe at this time he planted corn. Corn needs lots of water. When we, as a Christian, we have God and we trust God, He will provide those resources for us. There's so much resources that He will give us. And I want to read with you John chapter 4, beginning verse 7 to 14. It says, Jesus gives, just an overview, Jesus gives His living water in us, and it becomes a spring of water welling up to eternal life. By this, we are rich, you and me are rich in resources. This water that the Lord is giving us is a living water. Let's go to the book of John. Chapter 4. And I'm going to read, I probably will skip some of them. You can read it on your own if you have that. And beginning on verse 7 of chapter 4, John chapter 4, when a Samaritan woman came to draw water, Jesus said to her, "Will you give me a drink?" And now I'm going to skip through it and I'm going to go straight to verse 9. The Samaritan woman said to him, "You are a Jew and I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink? For Jews do not associate with Samaritans." Jesus replied, and he answered to her, "If you know the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." And this good jump to verse 13. Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give him will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give him will become in him a spring of water welling up to eternal life." Brothers, sisters, what a great resources we have in Christ. Trusting God, He will provide the resources. The example that He gave us, a tree planted by the water, since how it roots by the stream. Let me cover a little bit about the roots. Coconut tree, for example, there's thousands of roots in that coconut tree. And if you actually plant the tree close to your house, it's going to dig that house because of that root. It's going to ruin your house. But what I'm saying is, if a coconut tree alone has so many roots, how much more you and me? We have root, we just gotta have to send it. The NIV said it this way, send it out by the stream. The King James Version said it, spread it out. Do you want to just leave your roots stand by? You have to spread it out. You have to send it. So that way you will be rich. You will be blessed by trusting God through His resources. But not only that, let's read Jeremiah 17 verse 8 part B. And that will lead me to my next point, the second characteristic. A man who trusts in God is rich in reinforcement. Let's read the portion of chapter 8 on the second portion of it. He will be like a tree plant, it does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves is always green. And that's Jeremiah 17 verse 8, the second portion. So let me talk about that because this reinforcement that a characteristic of a man is so powerful. It will make you um, to rely more on God, to trust in Him because of this reinforcement. Not just the resources, but He also gave us reinforcement. Let me talk a little bit about the green leaves on the tree. You ever wonder why it's green? Most of the tree that we saw, they have green leaves, right? Um, there's a chlorophyll, if I pronounce it correctly, on that leaves, on every single leaf. Chlorophyll is a substance that will absorb the sunlight and transform it or make it into an energy. That's how God makes that tree, that leaves. He provides the reinforcement. So when heat comes, it says on that verse, it does not fear. How much more to us? What this reinforcement God gave us. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. You guys can follow me in Isaiah 41, verse 10. Isaiah 41, verse 10. Please read along with me. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Imagine this reinforcement that God gave us. By just trusting Him, God said, don't be afraid. I'm here with you. I will strengthen you. Well, of course, our physical body, you know, will wear out. We're going to have um, arthritis or any kind of sickness. We're going to have that. For my age, I'm also actually have a sign of knee problem. I don't know if it's arthritis. So but it's gonna wear out, but God will strengthen us. He will give reinforcement. By trusting Him, He gave great resources. There's a reinforcement. He will give us that extra strength that we need to serve Him. So the reinforcement, not just on Isaiah 41, but there's also, let's go to Isaiah 40. Let's go backward a little bit, verse 31. Isaiah 40, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. How amazing is that? By trusting God, all that weary is gone. And we can soar like eagles. We can run and not grow weary. Did you ever try run on the road marathon? It's so wonderful. I mean, 26 miles, it's kind of long, but it's great. But what I'm saying is, we have that reinforcement, even beyond a marathon, on the road marathon. We can do it for the Lord. They said, and I hear it many times, there's no such requirement for the Lord. I'd love to retire. I love to retire, but for serving God, and I know our pastor will agree with me, there's no such thing as retirement. We have to continue. We have the resources, we have the reinforcement, but there's more. Trusting God is a rich blessing. The third characteristic I want to share is this. A man who trusts in God is rich in readiness. Readiness. If you're in a military, if you have a military background, readiness is a big thing. We have a readiness issue to take care of us when we prepare us to do the training, do all the schedule, all the stuff that we need to do. You know, for the Lord, when we trust in Him, He provided the readiness. Let's go to go back to Jeremiah 17, verse 8, the last portion of it. It says, it has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. Trusting God One is a wonderful thing. Do you live day by day with no worries at all? No stress, no anxiety, no problem? Oh, we do have. I have worries. I even standing right now in front of you. It scares me. But brothers and sisters, God says, for that tree that planted by the river, it has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. How awesome is that when we trust in God? Look at John 15 on verse 5. Jesus said, I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. The readiness God gave us is far beyond what we can imagine. We have this readiness that He equipped for all of us who trust in Him. So I just talk about reinforcement, the readiness, and the first one was resources. Did you trust God in your life? Do you want to trust Him today? This is the purpose of this is to trust in Him, for He will provide for you and for me. My conclusion is to trust in man for strength and to turn away from God is a course. But a man or a woman, but a man and a woman who trust in God is a blessing. Just as a tree planted by the water is being provided with water as resources, green leaf as reinforcement, and to bear fruit as readiness, so you as a man or a woman who trust in God can have all this richness of God's resources, reinforcement, and readiness. Will you trust Him today? Let's pray. Let's close in prayer. Father God, thank you, Lord, for the most amazing grace that you have provided for us. Is to trust in you, you provide resources. You provide reinforcement, and you are providing the readiness. Lord, thank you, Lord, for we ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Hey, people really big man. That's really good. Well, thank you very much. I feel like we're ready. We're ready already. All right.
Good job, brother.
We'll give you enough time to digest. We'll give you enough time to process. Students, you cannot ask other students about your answer to your questions, okay? Keep it to yourselves, please. But Roel, thank you. Awesome. All right. And assessors are here. We're going to give them some time to go through this thing. And Roel, just make yourself available just in case. For the meantime, let's relax and have go ahead and get ready. All right.
Go behind you. Cameras are behind you. Go behind you. Cameras. But don't walk over the camera here. Turn on the arrow. It's so bright. It's so bright on the tignan mo the arrow mo. Yeah, so you can see that.
You need more. You need to lift it up higher.
The head na. A little bit. Yeah, see?
Thank you, bless me.
Hang on, don't stop yet. Anybody wants a drink? Hey, June prepared you some good coffee now. Come on, folks. It's good coffee. Very good coffee. All right.
drink coffee.
Okay. End that stream.